Hey folks, my name is Pravus. Welcome back to more Farthest Frontier at maximum difficulty in Dryton. We are finally, I think, truly getting our feet underneath us. Not only are we producing enough trade goods that we've been able to sustain ourselves through simple commerce, but also we managed to get ourselves up to population 200 and upgrade into tier 3. It's a pretty big setup for me. Now we're going to have access to a lot of much higher level production buildings and a lot of technologies that will start becoming useful to me as well. For example, we'll start making a whole bunch of cheese, or we can start making proper weaponry to defend ourselves, etc., etc. From here on out, it's kind of a move to mass industrialize a lot of our population in some way or another, which suits me just fine. We've got all the mineral wealth we're going to need to pull that off. So right off the bat, down over here in my industrial corner, I'm going to start immediately building out a few new things. More storehouses to store a few key resources like iron, and then turn that into something useful at the blacksmith. We'll start getting ourselves a whole bunch of tools, then weapons, then armor, and so on. At some point, I would like to also consider maybe walling off the town just to deal with the barbarian raiders as they come through, but that's a very, very expensive investment. I'd rather invest in having a good, strong, mobile military force to start, and then we'll upgrade as time goes on. It also wouldn't be a bad idea, if we're doing okay on food, to start splitting up our cattle herds, try to grow a bit beyond what we have so far. I've got 10 cattle, usually producing 1 or 2 additional births every year. Split this into 2 herds, and maybe we can start getting up to 20, then 30, then 40, then 50, and so on herds, until I've got more milk and cheese than I know what to do with, and plenty of beef. That takes a lot of space, though, and the smartest way to do things is actually to set up some nice grazing areas. So there's a reason I like doing my little 3x3 pattern of 5x5 farms. It's the perfect size for grazing. So what I could do then is set up an equivalent fenced-off area, set this to be a grazing area, let it build up some fertility naturally as the cow maneuver spreads around, and then I can turn this into a set of farms. And then just start rotating around which of the fields will be fallow, while the cattle take care of the rest, and ideally I start building up a whole load of fertilizer without even having to worry about the compost. Which, by the way, is collecting at a dangerous amount. I'm starting to wonder if we're producing too much crap. Okay. Might need more compost yards in the near future. Maybe. Over here, by the way, we are going to try building up a temple. It is time, I think. Not only will that greatly increase desirability and happiness for all of my people, but I'll also be able to start excavating out some sacred relics. Not all of them are useful. Some of them are okay, but some of them are really, really good. Maybe we get lucky today. The point is, now that we're at tier 3, lots of options just became available to me, and I find that to be very, very exciting. So I'm hoping this is going to be a period of explosive economic and population growth for us. Anyway, new technology. What should we do? What should we do? Well, I have the cheese. We could continue focusing on more compost, try to reduce disease for my crops, then start boosting up production of beans and so on, which is tempting. But I think we'll stick down to the industry for a bit longer here. I'm going to increase the durability of tools. I know we haven't produced them yet, but that's what I'm actively working on right now. And tools will improve pretty much everything. It should have been buying a lot more of them. They're just so gosh dang expensive, I've tried to avoid it. By the way, Atka is back, and she is the one who bears the heavy tools until we start producing our own. I'm going to need some of these, unfortunately, because, well, I'm going to have a lot of heavy industry construction projects from here on out. Oh, the temple's built, by the way. Hey, look at you, Mr. Beautiful. I kind of wish there were more ways I could properly decorate around this thing. I feel like just having a lot of long, gross grasses around it isn't quite as befitting as a temple ought to be. Should be a glorious urban center, but okay. Anyway, with that done, we now have a relic slot, which means we are allowed to excavate. I'm going to make this a priority. Go, go, go! What do I see here, by the way? Hey, wait a minute. Why do we have raiders? No one sent me an alarm saying that I had raiders on the way. Hold the phone back up. Am I just stupid? Did I just not notice this happen? I don't know. Send forth the military. Well, whatever's going on with these guys, they're absolute pushovers in comparison to what I've been dealing with. Well done, folks. Barely took any damage at all. Unexpected surprise raids, but we are ready for them. I like having a military. I actually think that's something they've improved dramatically in this game. The threat escalation from the raiders. I mean, it used to be that this game was kind of more like, let's say, Dawn of Man. You guys remember that game? That was a really fun game. But basically, the enemies are a bunch of pushovers. You just place down a couple of walls, a bunch of towers in the corners, and you just kill them all. It'd be no problem at all. Now, they have more unit types. They've got better weapons. They can shoot back at you. They've got armor, so your own hunters and towers aren't going to be good enough. They bring siege weapons. It forces an escalation in the game. And I think that's a very well thought out gameplay loop. More raiders are approaching. Wait, already? What? It's not even been a year. Okay. It seems like the raiders decided to spawn in kind of a weird staggered pattern today. I'm not sure exactly what's been going on with that, but that's fine. We'll be ready for you. All right, here they come, and we'll just take a few shots at them, and for some reason, they're letting me pick them off from behind. Okay, go ahead and lose all your archers. Have fun with that. No, like, really, they're just walking forward while I kill them. I don't even... Did they take a single swing back at me? What the heck happened? Okay. I'm confused. I don't care, I guess. I'm confused, though. Anyway, okay, I got my relic. Villagers have finished excavating the martyr relic, Teeth of Jonia the Ascetic. Huh. Villagers get hungry 15% slower. That means they don't go home to eat as often, right? So this effectively increases the length of my food, right? Ooh. If that actually just solved, well, not solved, but greatly improved a lot of my hunger issues, I am going to be a very, very, very happy camper right now. So yeah, we'll just toss that in the temple there, and then everyone's like, huh, you know, I was feeling kind of peckish, but now I feel completely fine. Wonder how that happened. New knowledge point for us, faster firewood production, blah, blah, blah. Let's go ahead and pick up that woodworking now so we can upgrade our firewood splitter and also the saw pit. Because we're going to be going through a lot of planks here. I don't think there's any way around that. So as long as we got the materials sitting around, I think we should go ahead and get this sucker upgraded so we can employ even more people and greatly increase the production speed. One of my other big bottlenecks right now is also going to be bricks, because once you get to tier 3, bricks become a very common construction material. I'm going to need a lot of that stuff. But since clay is still not something I easily can obtain, I'm going to have to just rely on buying a lot of it. Now, it might be worth just buying the bricks outright if I have enough wealth, but it depends on what's on sale. The clay is cheap, buy a lot of clay. The bricks are on sale, buy the bricks. You get the idea, I'm sure. It's not too complicated. Another merchant comes through. I would love to buy some herbs so I can continue making things like soap, since that's worth a bit to me. Also, by the way, I did the math. It is generally worth buying cows if you need food. Right? Instead of just buying raw meat, because that's something that's very tempting. You come along and it's like, oh, well, I could spend 4 wealth for each thing of steak. Yeah. Or you can slaughter a cow, get 341 meat for far, far, far cheaper, plus you get some other added benefits like extra hides and so on. So generally speaking, if the cows are on sale and you need food, just buy the cows. It's the best way to go. I mean, honestly, I'm tempted to just buy some more cows right now, just to go ahead and kickstart the new herd, but we don't have to do that. Let's go ahead and select about half of my livestock and say, hey, I'd like you to transfer over to this barn right over me. And for this barn, let's set the grazing area to this perfect little 15 by 15 area. Just in time, by the way, 2 more cows were born. So now I'm up to 6 and 6 already. Nice. Just need to make sure I grow enough hay to actually take care of this many animals in the winter, which I think won't be too hard. Got another technology point. You know something I'm going to try doing? I haven't done this yet, but let's unlock the paper mill. Why? Well, because I believe that what's going to happen is paper is used at the academy. And if I have paper, I research faster. So it's a whole new industry. I'm sure I'm going to have to start producing some paper using simple wood, but if I can get even faster research points, probably worthwhile. There it is. Takes, oh, I'm sorry, not wood, hemp. Hemp? To make paper? Fine, whatever. It also has a massive, massive penalty to desirability. Holy crud. Minus 20-something% if you're close by? I didn't know you guys hated paper so much. Good God. How's our fertility looking on some of these farms, by the way? We're up to 69% on most of them. That's pretty nice. Overall, I'd say we've made some tremendous progress. Thank you, fertilizer. 12 people want to immigrate. No, for the first time in a long, long time, I'm actually going to turn them away because I'm not trying to rush up to tier 4 at this point. We can kind of take our time, and more population right now is not going to help me. I've got more workers than I really strictly know what to do with, so I'd rather just focus on building up my infrastructure, get my food situation under control, then we can introduce more people. By the way, can I upgrade roads now? I can. Ooh, okay. Worth doing this in most cases, costs a lot of stone, but the more I can increase the movement speed of all my workers, generally speaking, the better. I mean, who doesn't like decreased travel time for, like, literally everything? Besides, it just looks nice. I'm a sucker for a good old-fashioned cobblestone path. Now, this is a minor problem. Crops lost due to animals. For some reason, the cows are getting out of this field. They shouldn't be able to do that, but this was a bug that existed a while ago. I assumed it got fixed, but maybe not, where cows were able to escape through gates. So, to be safe, I'll just go ahead and close this off and say, no cow, no, bad. Such a naughty, naughty cow. Blech. More raiders approaching once again. Okay. Holy crud, it's a whole load of them. Okay, some are on horseback and some are not. Can I possibly draw them towards me in a direction I want, or are they going to go over here? Okay, they're going to go over here. I'm going to have to try to draw these guys towards my main force, where I have a small palisade getting built up around here. See if we can kill off the horsemen quickly. If we can do that, that'd be ideal. Man, horsemen are armored like crazy. 16 armor. Really hard to kill these guys off, man. Really hard. But the good news is my forces are doing a really good job of repelling them here around the palisade. The extra armor and the shields have made a massive difference. Absolutely huge. Are you seriously attacking my root cellar trying to steal my food? How dare... Okay, shoot this guy. Oh, great. Now these warriors are getting frustrated, so they're just attacking anybody they can find in the streets. Which, again, I just want to remind people, why are you not running to the town center? That's the only place that is safe, but no, let's not worry about that. Dum-dums. I'm going to have a whole new second task force of troops here pretty soon. I'm about positive. Anyway, it looks like the raiders are all retreating, which is good. So you lost 5 villagers out of the arrangement. 5? They didn't even steal anything. That's just frustrating. Okay, well, I know at least a couple of those people we lost were my archers. So that sucks. Yeah, we need to get some even better armor, especially on the archers. They're just sitting ducks while they stand there shooting their bows, and they get shot at. So if I go for the technology allowing them to wear hauberks over here, that might solve some problems for me. Okay, jumping forward a little bit, I've started making my own bricks here at the brickyard, which is now allowing us to build up the paper mill so we can start getting some paper using what little hemp I have. And that paper is being turned into more research at the academy, so now we are working pretty much at full-ish speed. I think at some point, maybe we'll be able to start using books. But that is not for at least a little bit, not until we do an upgrade, probably. For which, I need to have, let's see, glassware, and what does this mean by monthly cost? That's an upgrade cost? I would have thought that was just like, you know, something you should be aware of for like an upgrade bonus, but okay. Either way, not doing anything about that until we get a lot more technology. I've also finished growing up our cow herds to 20 in total, so I could actually try to build another barn and split the herds again and set up another grazing area over here. Apparently the coal dust is very nutritious over here, very good fodder quality. But then we could try getting ourselves up to 30 cattle. And with that many cattle, we could produce about 900, 1,000 or so milk per year, which I could turn into cheese, if I can just get on top of all this other food stuff. I mean, food is looking good right now, as long as I harvest a whole load of fruit. That's the thing that's keeping me afloat literally more than anything else. I did get the technology that would allow me to start upgrading some markets, which would be nice. Takes a lot of bricks to do that, but, you know, having extra income from all nearby houses means this is something that would easily pay for itself. Better desirability, larger work areas means bigger neighborhoods before I start having issues, and so on. So it would be nice to get those going at some point. That also means I'll be able to unlock an upgrade for my trading post, which I don't think really does a lot as far as, like, boosting up, like, better deals with people, but I think it does mean we get to have a third trader every year, including generally more specialized workers, which is probably great. One other thing that I could do if I want to get some more food, all of my hunters, I could upgrade them so that they can start setting down some traps for small animals, like over here. So do that, spend some iron, get some animal traps. Animal traps would get me small carcasses, which is worth a lot less meat than the deer. but it is a consistent-ish way of getting a decent amount of food. So if you have lots and lots and lots of iron, you could. The thing is, I've explored a bit further down this little ridge over here, this little valley, and there are so many deer over here that I just don't think that's necessary. I don't think it's necessary at all. And here's a crazy thought. Okay, hang on. So if I spent the money, I could buy a relic. The Antlers of the Great Spirit. Hunter cabins yield 30% more meat. That would increase my food generation by a pretty good amount. I mean, last year, well, I say that. Last year I got 150 meat out of this one hunter. So another 30% of that, I mean, yeah, it's okay, I guess. 45 more meats, maybe 40 over here, 45, another 45. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad since I am so very heavily dependent on hunting specifically. I'm kind of tempted to buy it. Now, is it better than having this 15% hungry slower? I don't know if that's true. But if I ever did upgrade this temple, I could have a second relic slot, and that would certainly solve the problem, right? I'm just gonna buy it. Assuming he doesn't leave in the next few seconds, I'm just gonna buy it. Now I'll have the option, okay? If it just turns out that that produces enough meat to be well worth it, I mean, maybe so. That would be worth at least like an extra 200 to 300 food per year. But you contrast that with my 218 population, each of which is consuming food 15% slower. I don't think the math quite works out where the extra meat from hunting is worth it. But hey, it's there if we want it. Oh, son of a... Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a small problem. You may have noticed we just had a much longer jump cut than I was anticipating. That is because, for whatever reason, my audio setup decided to simply glitch out and stop recording my voice for the last 2.5 hours. I swear, this game, more than any other that I play lately, has a tendency to just screw with my recording setup. I'm not even using complicated softwares. All I did was accidentally tab out of the game, and apparently it shut it all down. So yeah, a lot of time has passed. You're not going to get to see any of it, though. Let me try to recap you on what I can here. So I gotta notice that the raiders are apparently amping up their difficulty once again. Now they are going to have catapults to make short work of my defenses, which scared me a little bit. So I have started building some walls just to try and ward them off for as long as I can, and then built up another barracks and trained a whole new task force. So I'll be able to use 2 sets of troops to try and flank and destroy those catapults before they absolutely wreck me. I also took the liberty of taking that military force and clearing out the bandit camp that has been to our southeast, because that has been preventing a lot of exploration in that direction. Plus, I knew there were some other things I could get there, some more excavations, and so on. We made short work of them overall, and then what we discovered as I moved around the map is that there was another temple excavation site, so I took advantage of that. We got ourselves another relic here. And then jumping to my current camera view, we found a stupid amount of deer down to the south and the southeast. And even if I scroll all the way over here, what is this? A shoal of fish! That means there's water over here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if there's anything we can expect to gain out of that, but it's there. Economically, what else have we missed out on? Well, I grew out the herds even further. Our fertility is looking phenomenal now for our fields. We're up to 90%, which means one farmer, in theory, can get me about 250 food right now, and that's without the soil even being perfect. So that's nice. Our farmers are finally becoming very valuable. I've started extracting sand and turning that into glass, though to be honest, there haven't been very many buyers of glass, so this has not been worth quite as much as I would have expected. And also because I'm scared of the raiders, we decided to go ahead and build out a stable so that I will be able to start farming up my own horses. Eventually, I'm going to want to have mounted cavalry. We even got the technology point for that as well. The only problem is I'm not really sure where to train cavalry. I wouldn't be surprised if I have to upgrade my barracks into a fort first before I can take advantage of this. So if that's the case, then we have a long way to go from our technology. In fact, I've started investing a few more points down here in the military, getting some extra health for our walls and other buildings, get better towers. You get the idea. And then over here in agriculture, I did invest a bit in upgrading, let's say, my disease resistance, bean yield. We now have access to grains. And I started getting some forestry up and running so we have more reliable wood. But one of the most important techs that we got is actually going to be this right here. Favored Nation. 10% merchant discounts at the trading post. That is going to save me a lot of cash. Actually very poignant right now, since this latest trader does have some of those horses I was looking for. So we're going to buy at least a couple of those and send them to the brand new stable. There's undoubtedly some other good stuff that we missed, more raids, more whatever, but I mean, like, that's enough to at least get you guys caught up. I'm sorry, folks. That sucks far more for me than it does for you, but it still sucks. Oh, good raiders! Let me guess, you got the catapults. Well, I've got 24 soldiers ready to combat you. Is it gonna be enough? I guess we're gonna find out. Where are they even gonna try to hit me? They're kind of going the long way around over here. I think they're heading over this direction. Gosh dang, this is starting to play more like an actual RTS. All right. Please no catapults, please no catapults, please have no catapults. I don't have any cavalry, so I can't deal with you. Oh my god, that is a lot of soldiers. This is going to hurt. Let's see if we can't draw some of them over to me now. We'll just try to kill them off before they all group up. Oh, who was over here? Gosh dang it. Whatever, our population's pretty well capped out until I really start expanding my neighborhood a bit more. One thing you can do, by the way, when you're getting shot at by all these archers, is you actually can just, like, micro your units so that they try to dodge getting shot. Well, try to dodge getting shot at. That, unfortunately, I ran straight into the arrows, but I mean, you get the point. Good news is I don't see any actual catapults, so that is hopefully going to help me a little bit. But we're going to have to pull back behind some of these walls. I can just about guarantee this is going to hurt. Jeez Louise, they have a lot of archers this time around, though, for real. Why do you guys have so many archers? At least my infantry are getting into their line, so that helps a little bit. Okay, they're finally leaving. Okay, we inflicted enough casualties. They basically got around the wall and were like, ah, frick this, we're out. I still lost 2 soldiers, though, which is pretty unforgivable, so I say we just kill off whatever we can here. The thing is, if they stole nothing, like, what's the point in killing these guys? Do I gain anything from killing any of these people? I don't think so. I think you should be allowed to just, like, loot their bodies. I think they should be carrying some stuff on them. That would be cool. Anyway, that could have been a lot worse, so for now, I'll take it. Oh yeah, another thing I've started having some issues with lately are rats. They weren't a problem before, but they are now. Gotta get ourselves some little rat catchers over here just to find and kill them before they eat your food or spread any sort of disease. Because obviously, that would suck. We don't want that. Oh, I guess another thing that I did add on to the city that I forgot to mention. I bought some chickens! Yeah, just got myself a little chicken coop. Just so I would have some more food variety. That's one of the big issues I'm having right now with the city is we need to be upgrading everything into large housing. And that, unfortunately, does require a lot of food variety. It's starting to happen. This is a good example of a large house over here. Nice, proper roof, you know, with the shingles and stuff. None of this hay, straw nonsense. But to do that, you have to have 3 different types of food. And it is very nice to have something other than smoked meat and fruit and cheese. So if I can have some eggs added into there, I just figured that makes my life a little bit easier. Oh, now what? We haven't even had our first catapult, and already the raider activity is growing again? Right, now we have armored enemies. They have basically heavy infantry. So I don't have a good way of dealing with that, like, at all. Like, legitimately, I'm actually not sure what to do about that. I'm trying to produce as many crossbows as possible so that our archers are going to be a bit stronger, which is good, yeah. I'm producing the best armor and stuff I'm capable of, at least for the moment. Like, shy of upgrading to getting heavy infantry of my own, I'm not sure what to do about that, and even then, what do I need? Citadels. So, I mean, like, yeah, but we're kind of going down the right path already, but the question is it going to matter in the end? I'm starting to feel a little nervous, guys. Can you tell? At least I can get some upgrades for my towers now. So watchtowers are a thing. I believe those can have more people manning them at a time, plus they have a lot more HP, which is good. Only problem is they're a little on the expensive side. Ooh, also more range damage. Yeah, that actually is very worthwhile if I can get all the equipment I need together to make that work. Okay, new round of raiders. Oh my god, they are hitting me from 3 directions at once. I've got 2 mobile forces, guys! Oh, this is bad. This is basically my worst nightmare scenario. I'm gonna start manning as many towers as I can. Hopefully I have enough bows and arrows and other things to go around. Though I am unconvinced that that is currently true, and I'm just gonna have to pick a side to defend, and hopefully that's the right call. So, for example, if I send a force up over here, I have reasonable reason to believe they're gonna go over this direction. So I can try to counter them to some degree there. And if I let the rest of the other groups get through the walls and head over here, maybe I can catch them in a crossfire, and my other force can try to clean them up. Maybe. 55 raiders in total. You've got to be kidding me. So fair and so fun. Oh, yes. Question is, did they bring berserkers and siege engines? Well, I see at the very least that they brought one battering ram. And over here, I see a little cavalry, but otherwise, this doesn't look too bad yet. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of. I'm now completely out of bows and arrows. My Fletchers, man, they have just not been producing enough. Might need to get another one of those as soon as I have some spare population, which will be never. Anyway, I'm going to try to clean up the small groups over here first, and then we'll just collapse on the battering ram. It's going to take a second for that to arrive. Hello, they've got pikemen. Oh, good. So even if I did have some cavalry, they would get destroyed. Not good, man. Not good at all. All right, so we're engaging up over here. That's looking fine. We've about cleaned up over here. Good. Haven't lost anybody yet. Here they come over here. Can I tell these guys to retreat and just garrison this area up? Because this is supposed to be also kind of like a good archer tower. Maybe I can rain some death on them as they approach. But to be honest, it's not like my arrows are doing a lot. Let's just try not to lose anything in this group over here. Good. Okay, they're retreating. Good enough for me. Pull back. We need to collapse our forces. We are taking our shots at them, but now they're attacking this tower. This tower is almost certainly dead. There is no way I'm going to be able to deal with this fast enough. So I'm going to send my forces out and try to harass them a little bit. Oh yeah, once the battering ram gets there, that is done. You guys, run for your lives, guards! Run, I tell you! Let's try to pull our forces back, draw them closer to where we can start doing some damage again. There we go, there we go. Now we get arrows. No, don't attack my barracks! Oh, you jerks. Yeah, this is a big group, guys. This is a really big and unpleasant group that's fighting me here. Not happy about it. Not happy at all. Just keep pulling back where I've got a little bit of protection over here. There we go. All right, the battering ram's distracted, which is fine. You guys are doing your thing, which is great. Reinforcements are here. Oh, just try not to lose one of these guys. Ah, he's dead. Not even knocked down, just straight out of mortal blow. That's the sort of thing I'm trying to avoid, you guys. Come on! We're making progress here. These towers are getting attacked, but like, it's just one or two attackers. Without siege weapons, they can't do a whole lot. The problem I've got is when you destroy a battering ram, 6 more guys get out of it. Yikes, dude, yikes! All right, well, whatever. We're cleaving the crud out of them. I've got some phenomenal cleavage, don't you know? All right, this should finish them off. They're now running away. And they should be easily dealt with. Okay, so we lost 2 villagers out of that. 1 structure was destroyed, which will be that tower we knew was going to be blown up there, so that's a thing. We killed 49 out of the 55 raiders. And another one's about to die and join the rest. So, yeah, I call that halfway decent considering. Albeit, I am still very unhappy about how it all turned out. I'm going to need to expand these walls. We're going to have to find ways of slowing them down. I mean, it sounded great drawing them into an area where I had lots of towers sitting around, but it still wasn't enough. So we really need to start pushing our defenses more toward the outside of the walls, and then keep them in place for a while until my forces can arrive and clean them up. I'm paying handsomely, by the way, for knowledge points. Whenever a traveler or a merchant comes through that has a book for sale, I tend to buy it. It's very expensive, very, very expensive, but I feel like I have to do it. Otherwise, how am I ever going to keep up? Watchtowers can now upgrade to battlement towers. Well, I can't even afford to get the ones that I've got now, so we're just going to go ahead and start reducing the upkeep of my soldiers, working toward those citadels aggressively. I'd love to get these things upgraded so I can have even larger forces. I'd love to reduce the upkeep so I actually have enough money to sustain these forces, and I'd love to put these horses to use and start getting myself some cavalry so I can run them down. And cavalry will be really good. I mean, once you start getting things like horse barding, 30% more health for mounted soldiers, that's pretty substantial. We could also get ourselves the blacksmith, the workshop, and the arsenal so we can get even bigger stuff. Better attack speed with crossbows would be amazing for us. More melee weapon damage? Yeah. Like, I really feel like we're at a point where my agriculture, my food is largely dealt with. My science and culture has been largely untouched, but that is what it is. And I could continue doing things with my industry, but until I have a larger population, I'm kind of stymied on that front a little bit. So the real threat that I can see right now is just getting attacked from the military side of things. So I think that almost all my tech points are going to go in this direction, at least for a while longer. I'm not thrilled about that, but I mean, if that's what you gotta do, then that's what you gotta do. Alas, I do believe for the moment that is where I'm going to be ending this video. with the threat of impending doom upon me at any time. But hey, we can start investing massively in our military going forward here. If I want to get more barracks, if I want to get upgrades to these towers, if I want to start upgrading to stone walls and completely encompass my city, we can do things like that now. It's just phenomenally expensive. But I think we're learning it's going to be a necessity if we want to continue surviving against the increasing difficulty of these raiders. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and agree we made some truly incredible progress across the board here. I mean, food is largely solved. We've picked up a mess of technologies. Our trade is looking solid so far, and just in general, I think that we've been able to grow quite a lot. So we're not even that far off of the population necessary for Tier 4. I've just got to figure out how I'm going to get my desirability and my food variety up to start upgrading all of these homes. Then we'll start raking in a load of cash. But that's another headache for another day. Be sure to hit that like button if you did enjoy, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.